Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Audio bandwidth for the Daily Giz Wiz is provided by AOL Music and Spinner.com, where you can get free MP3s, exclusive interviews, and more. Video bandwidth for the Daily Giz Wiz is provided by CacheFly at CACHEFLY.com. It's time for the Daily Giz Wiz with Mad's maddest writer, Dick DeBartolo. This is episode 1112 for Tuesday, June 15th, 2010, the Sprint EVO.
Now, get ready for Dick.
Hey, it's Dick DeBartolo, Mad's maddest writer, and the Giz Wiz. One day of the week, a man with a brilliant mind, a man who finds gadgets that we all long for and look for, explains it to us in careful ways that any person can understand.
Yes.
Of course, this is a stupid intro, but his mother's in the studio. It's another crappy turn the table Tuesday.
There she is, ladies and gentlemen.
Hanging on every word.
Yeah, you can tell she's basically fallen asleep. She's playing with her iPad, and that EcoView case from Marware, by the way, is on that there.
Oh, wow. You are so generous.
I know, because that's my EcoView and my iPad.
Well,
but you know what?
The way I heard it was that you gave it to Henry. Henry didn't want it. She gave it to Abby. Abby didn't want it.
Yeah,
you gave it to your wife. She didn't want it. You gave it to your mother.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened.
And I understand you're going to take it away when she leaves the studio.
Yeah, no, nobody gets
Give it to Dane.
Give it to Dane. He'll take anything.
He'll take anything.
It's actually true. This was Jennifer's actually, well, this is my first iPad. That's the one that I ordered, the Wi-Fi only iPad, because I knew I was going to get 3G later. So I gave it to Jennifer when my 3G came, and she never got into it. I thought she'll love this for email. She doesn't really need a laptop, but she never got into it. But Mom loves it. But she's only doing one thing and one thing only. She's not using the iPad in any way that it was intended to be used. She's uses
writing on it with a magic marker.
Yeah,
She said, "How do you erase this? It's nice.
I can't.
It's legible.
I just have
you can
to
only
let her
send
do
one
that.
email. Then you have to buy a new iPad.
She loves this game, the We Rule game, which is a farm game.
This is your downfall.
Yeah. In fact, she loves it so much. You know, the last time she was out here, she knitted. She knitted every moment of every day. And
She knit that iPad?
There were socks. There were Afghans. There were sweaters. Instead of knitting, she's doing this farm game. And, Dick, instead of socks, Afghans, and sweaters, all we got is this. Her farm. That's it. Mama Fama. Mama Fama. That's it. This is it. This is her farm.
This is a good intro to the reason you got her out there. You're going to send her away, put her on a farm.
Funny farm. Hey, Mom, I see you got a little pond there. That's good. You're starting to make a river. Like that, yeah. She's got a little bit of a sweatshop thing going, though. You see this? These are all... I'm not kidding, Dick. These are all tailor shops.
Father, like son, isn't it? I mean, like mother, like son.
She's got 20 tailor shops.
Yeah. Oh, look at Twit Tailors. Isn't that cute?
Twit Tailors. That's it. So it's if you want to follow Mom on We Rule, if you play We Rule on the iPhone or the iPad, it's Mama Fama, M-A-M-A-F-A-M-A.
That's very
I'm sure she'd appreciate it if you'd come by her sweatshop and buy some cheap T-shirts. And she has a butcher shop if you want grilled sausages.
Okay, grilled socks.
Or you can grill the socks. So I should explain that we are recording this on June 5th, 2 days before Apple speaks, before Jobs speaks at the Worldwide Developers Conference, and in all likelihood announces the new iPhone and who knows what else. So everything I say right now should be couched in the knowledge that I have not yet seen what Apple's doing. And it's very, very, very possible, very likely, in fact, that everything I'm about to say right now goes right out the window as soon as Apple announces its new iPhone. Now, I don't think it will. And I probably will get the iPhone. But for my money right now, even if Apple should come out with a next generation iPhone that has some great features, the best phone on the market today is not an iPhone. It is an Android-based phone from Sprint called the EVO. Have you seen the EVO yet?
I have not seen it in person. I got a quickie look at it when you first got it.
I've had it about a week now. And I don't like to review something.
I love the screen.
Yeah. I mean, it's just spectacular. It's a little bit bigger than the iPhone screen, higher resolution. It's the same, interestingly enough, it's the same resolution as the other Android phone that I've been using that I've really liked a lot, the Google Nexus 1. But it's a bigger screen. So, which, I kind of like this. So the screen, here's the Nexus 1 if you're watching on video. So the screen is both wider and a little bit taller than the Nexus 1. But it's the same resolution. So that means everything appears a little bit bigger, a little bit easier to read, a little bit easier to use. And to be honest, I like that. Who was it said? I think it was Gina Trapani, that this screen is almost, but not quite too big. It's as big as you could get without being annoying.
Oh, that's interesting.
Doesn't that make sense? I mean, I think that's a good way to put it. So I'm just loving this screen. It has a gigahertz Snapdragon processor in it, which is the same speed processor that's in the Incredible and the Nexus 1. I think a gigahertz processor makes a big difference. Now, this is running Google's Android operating system, version 2.1 so far. On my Nexus 1, I have upgraded to 2.2, and there are definitely speed improvements. So this does not get the benefit of the 2.2 speed improvements. Sprint and HTC, who makes the handset, say that they will be updating to 2.2 soon, by the end of the summer anyway. One of the reasons they're a little slower to upgrade is that HTC, the manufacturer of the handset, adds its own user interface, they call it HTC Sense, and its own widgets to the standard Google experience. For instance, at the bottom, Google has a much simpler little bar here. This is the HTC bar. It's just different looking. Applications.
Is it the same on all the other Android phones you got from HTC?
Many of the new phones have HTC Sense on them. In fact, a lot of the people who are customizing Android phones, in fact, have are doing something other than the standard. This is the standard Google phone, and so you see this is 2.2. The bottom is a little bit different. Some of the widgeting is different, but the same idea is there, and the same applications are there. So you can run all of the Android applications. There are about 50,000 applications now. Now, Apple sure has 200,000, but 50,000 is a lot of applications. I actually really like this HTC Sense UI. I think the widgets are beautiful, very effective. There's a favorites widget that shows you pictures, large pictures of all the people that you call all the time. Makes it very easy for you to make quick calls. Buttons to turn off and on wireless features, like to save battery life, typically will turn off GPS and use Wi-Fi whenever possible. And so it's very easy to do that right from the home screen. This is a news widget that makes it really easy to read news. And again, because it's such a big screen, it really is legible. Also, they've got Android now out for so I can do my Audible books, which I'm really happy about. Here's a text message. It says, "You have fabulous chocolate waiting for you in reception. Enjoy." That's from Rodney. He sent me like 800 pounds of Snickers bars.
Oh, my word.
I know. He's trying to get me fat. HTC does some other interesting things. They have a scenes setting, which allows you to customize very quickly your desktop, your widgets, the applications. So you can use some of the standard scenes. There's a Sprint scene, an HTC scene, social, work, and play. But you can also create your own scenes. What's nice is it lets you move very quickly from one phone layout to the other. So if you're a traveler, for instance, if you go to set up a travel scene, you can jump to it for the times you travel with different clocks. Actually, I'll put up the travel scene because it has dual clocks, which is great. So if you travel and you want to keep track of where you are versus where your family is, you can have dual clocks.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
It's got great new live wallpaper. I'll go back to my scene because I customized it to be exactly the way I like, and I was able to save out the the customized scene. So this is for people using Windows. This is something they'll probably be pretty familiar with, the idea of a customized desktop and wallpaper and applications and icons. I love the Android operating system, and I think this is perhaps the most slick and mature version. Sprint also ships with it a number of Sprint applications. There's the NASCAR Sprint Cup, so you can actually watch on the Sprint NASCAR. They have football. They have television. There's just a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, I have to turn off.
What's the coverage like up there, Leo?
Coverage is pretty good. Of course, that's something one should always be aware of. That you shouldn't choose a phone just because of the features of the phone. You should also choose it based on the carrier. So if Sprint is not a good carrier in your neck of the woods, that'd be pretty bad. This phone is actually unique in one very interesting way. It is the first 4G phone. It supports the new 4th generation data network that Sprint calls 4G. It's actually WiMAX, but it's not available in very many cities. By the way, do you see this? This is a stand. It has a stand built in that flips out.
Oh, nice.
So that if you want to watch a movie on your tray table or a TV show, you can just put it right up there on the stand. And it's a big enough screen that it's pretty darn enjoyable, I have to say. So, great software package, great screen, great user interface. Sprint has visual voicemail now. There are 2 cameras. There's an 8-megapixel camera with dual flash on the back and a 1.3 megapixel camera on the front, because you can use this to make video calls. I think that's kind of intriguing.
Yeah, that's neat.
The quick software that it comes with has live video sharing, but you can also use a third-party software. Fring is the one I use and recommend. Fring lets me make video calls with other Fring users. So if you have a friend with a front-facing camera, not a lot of people do. Maybe on, I think by now the iPhone users will, and they'll be using iChat. Some Nokia phones do, and of course anybody who has an EVO will have a front-facing camera, so you can make calls. In fact, I think pretty soon Skype's going to allow you to make video calls from your phone, which is really, really fantastic.
Someone in the chat room wants to know if there's a TWiT app for it.
There is of course, there's a TWiT app for it. We don't have streaming yet on the TWiT app, but if you search for the TWiT app, TWiT.tv app by Mediafly in the Android store, you'll be able to see all our netcasts, and soon this will have live streaming as well.
Nice.
Yeah. I could go on and on. I mean, this has all the features you'd expect: stereo, Bluetooth, wireless, GPS navigation, a turn-by-turn navigation program that comes from Sprint Free, as well as the Google turn-by-turn navigation. They've just done it.
Price of that little guy.
Well, it's the typical price nowadays. It's $199 after a $100 rebate, and of course you have to sign up for 2 years of Sprint. But Sprint's fairly affordable. There's a couple of features you're going to pay extra for. $10 a month extra for the 4G carriage. And there's a really nice feature in here that just might put you over the top. Sprint is doing this on their Palm Pre as well, and some other phones. A number of companies are doing this. They have built-in tethering. It's $30 a month. But I can turn on the Sprint hotspot, and this now becomes a Wi-Fi hotspot that I can have up to 8 machines log into using a password. It supports WPA security. It looks just like a Wi-Fi access spot, but it's getting its data access through the Sprint 3 or 4G network. If you have 4G, that is a real selling feature. Even on 3G, it works great. So I could use the
$30?
It's $30 a month extra.
Wow.
So all in all, I think this is a spectacularly good phone. I'm really impressed. You want to see the video of Abby's graduation?
Yeah.
Because it has a 720p video camera in it as well. The audio I was underwhelmed by, but I have to say I was pretty impressed by the quality of the video I was able to shoot of Abby's graduation. So I was up on the stage, so I got a particularly good view of Abby accepting her diploma. And to have a phone and to be able to carry your phone with you and take this incredible video.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that nice? That's just 720p, just really great video. What else could I mention? Oh, battery life. I'm sure people are very interested in the battery life on this. It's just like all the other smartphones. It is a bigger phone, so it has a bigger battery than the iPhone, for instance. And it does get maybe 10% battery life. But look, you're not going to get through the day if you use it like crazy. You leave the GPS on, you leave the Wi-Fi on, you shoot video, you listen to music. All of that stuff is going to start to deplete the battery. Either charge it up in the middle of the day or be careful, nurse it along in the day. I turn off GPS when I'm not using it. I use Wi-Fi over 3G. That seems to improve battery life. You just got to be a little careful about what you're doing, what you're using. However, I am able to get all day if I nurse it along. And I get the same results with all Android phones and, frankly, with the iPhone as well. So that's just a general problem. Isn't that cute? There's her graduation.
Very nice.
If you were watching our video, you got to see it. And then she just did her little tassel thing. I'm very proud of her. So the Sprint EVO, $199 after a $100 rebate and a 2-year contract at Sprint. I don't know about Unlocked, but it's made by HTC. HTC really does an excellent job, I have to say, on their phones. I am a big fan of the HTC phones, and I think this is an exceptional phone. Right now, my favorite on the market today, the HTC EVO.
Are you going to the Apple event?
You know what? I'm not, believe it or not. You don't get invited to WWDC generally. You go as a journalist or you go as a developer. Andy Ihnatko, Don McAllister are going for us. They're going to be blogging.
Your
Tom
people
Merritt. I have people who do this. Tom Merritt will be in studio with Alex Lindsay, and we'll be broadcasting that live. I'm actually going to be giving a lecture at the school. I'm going to give an in-service to the teachers on technology. So I'll be having one ear to my Sprint EVO, listening to what's going on, and one ear to my speech.
So all that extra work you had to do so that they would let Abby graduate. But it's good.
Yeah. Well, you gotta do something to get these kids through school. I like that. By the way, this is something new that I imagine we're going to see a lot of people do. Look at this, the low waste packaging. It's a cardboard box, not a big box, not a lot of plastic.
No foam in there, I hope.
No foam.
Or not too much.
I'm really impressed. No, it's all recyclable cardboard.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed by that, and I have to commend Sprint for doing a good job with that. This is a hell of a phone. I have to say, we are taking great leaps and bounds now in the smartphone market. And the EVO, in my mind, again, I haven't seen the iPhone yet, but in my mind, this is the phone to beat right now. And for another 6 weeks or so. And then no, seriously, Samsung's got the Galaxy coming out.
Right. No, you're absolutely right.
Nowadays, this stuff changes so fast. It's kind of mind-boggling. The Sprint EVO 4G, this is a landmark, if for no other reason. It's the first phone supporting the 4G network. We always get letters for the GizWiz, but unfortunately, they always go to the GizWiz. So I'm always...
you'll find one. And we should mention that you can see the video version of this on YouTube. People keep writing and going, well, you talk a lot about things, but I can't see them. And then I write back and say, youtube.com/twit. And they go, oh, my word, this is great. So if you don't know about it, that's where a video version of the Daily Giz Wiz and all Leah's other shows exist.
Well, this one comes to me from somebody who cares about my health.
Wow.
I'm not talking about Rodney, who sent us 20 pounds of Snickers. I'm talking about a fellow named Andy Lane. He writes, hi, Leo. I've been using a product recently I think you may well be interested in. The Slender Tone System ABS, or ABS. They do other products as well, but I would really like to recommend it to you. I started using it again after a long period when I stopped. When I used it around 6 years ago, I had a six-pack and was generally very fit, so I couldn't attribute the six-pack only to the slender tone. As I said, I've started using it again, and seriously, Leo, it's amazing. I'm just going to assume this guy doesn't work for the Slender Tone Corporation.
Yeah, okay.
This is an electric belt that you attach to your midriff.
Oh.
And again, I don't know. It tones you. It's only $100.
So it only tones you a little bit.
Well,
$200, it'll tone you a lot.
Everybody likes the idea of exercising without actually doing anything.
I know.
He says they suggest you use it only 30 minutes a day, but I've been using it for 3 or 4 hours a day.
Oh my God.
While at work, and within a week lost 2 holes in my belt. Within 3 weeks, a six-pack is showing through again, and I'm nowhere near as fit as I was. I don't know if you have them over in America, but they use EMS. I don't know what that is. Probably some sort of electrical magnetic stimulation to stimulate your muscles.
That's the hospital you call when you use it for 4 hours.
To contract.
EMS.
While you're sitting down, walking around, whatever you're doing, after a while, you even forget it is on, even on the highest power. Another small bonus, it would give you a Turn the Tables Tuesday for the Giz Wiz. Anyway, just an idea. I thought I'd do it right now. It's making my gut go like that. I thought I'd pass it on. Remember,
I have to get back to work shipping these out to people who bought them.
He says the weight will literally drop off you. He puts it on first thing in the morning.
Right.
I really think he I don't think he works for the company. I think he genuinely means it. I have to say that we have not tested this, and I'm not going to recommend that you use it in a way not recommended by the manufacturers.
Yes, exactly.
So they say 30 minutes. I'd stick to it. I mean, this guy uses it more, but that's at your own risk, folks.
I mean, 3 or 4 hours, you're probably too sore to eat. Maybe that's why the weight goes
I've never
off.
tried one of these things. Let's see. Here's a customer testimonial from the Slender Tone people.
Crazy.
Oh, wow. Oh, you really feel it.
Whoa, that's intense.
I sense a Mad Magazine article.
I lost 50 pounds in the first 2 minutes.
Oh! Ow!
And $100 from my wallet.
Ow! All right. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll order it. It's only $100. I mean, maybe I could try it. Anybody in the chat
during the show?
Anybody in the chat room used? Actually, Noman Stevens says, you know, I have this thing called sit-ups. They work great, and they're free, Leo. Oh! You can feel it.
Oh, did you see EMS is electromagnetic shocks?
Shocks? Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Well, thank you, Andy. Maybe I'll give that one a pass, but I appreciate it. And, you know, I'm just going to keep dieting and doing the sit-ups. You know what I do, Dick, that has made a big difference? What? And it's a lot more expensive than electromagnetic shock therapy. Pilates. Yeah. You do yoga, and I do yoga every week.
I do yoga, yeah.
But the Pilates, I'm doing it twice a week now. It's made a huge difference. In fact, I've gained 48 pounds, and I look thinner than ever.
You do.
See?
It's amazing. Yeah. As long as you keep the camera neck height and above, you look amazing.
I'm going to have another Twix bar, and I'll see you tomorrow, Dick.
I'll be here.
DAILY. It's the Daily Giz Wiz. It's the Daily Giz Wiz. It's the Daily Giz Wiz.
It makes its own gravy.